Welcome back to the Blue Collar Minutemen Show, where we are three guys who are trying to make America great again. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you all have enjoyed this whole, hopefully getting back to normal as we slowly progress, as things open back up. Of course, we're still videoing, as you can see. Bill, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you? How are you doing, Jason?
Man, I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Man, I feel left out. I'm the only one here without a cup of coffee.
Man, I can't live without it, man.
You can go here in the kitchen if you need one.
That's right.
Well, of course, there's been a whole lot of stuff going on. There are certain things that we're going to avoid talking about right now. It's really, we all know what's going on out there right now, but we're not going to discuss any of that. Our stuff is still worried about the state of the nation, where things stand politically, and everything else. So we're going to stick with that aspect of it and let everybody else report on what else is going on. But so what's up with Joe Biden there, Bill?
You were telling me something about him spilling some gas on TV. What's that all about?
Oh, Justin, I'm telling you, this guy, okay, I always believe in respecting my elders. I always have. But clearly, he does not need to be running for president. The man has farted on air now, basically, as he was talking to another governor in his live stream. It was so hilarious. He's talking and he's just really going on, and then you see him, he's in the camera, and then he leans back and you hear and he just keeps talking, and the governor is standing there and he's like
like, for real, dude, really? You just did that? Okay.
They said he pulls a swalwart. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Yeah, swalwart. I guess a year ago that this Democratic senator or whoever farted on air too. But I mean, it's not just that. I mean, the man thought Independence Day was in December, I guess.
He said,
and called it D-Day.
Yeah, he said D-Day is no longer just December 12th. It's also our Independence Day. I'm like,
yeah, I watched that 3 times just to make sure I heard it right. Like, to make sure I wasn't messed up.
I was like,
what? What did he just say? He goes, yeah, everybody knows we got our independence on December 7th, and that's just not for D-Day.
yeah.
What the hell did he just say? Oh, man.
So he basically got D-Day,
Pearl Harbor,
Independence Day, and Pearl Harbor all rolled into one.
Apparently, it all happened the same day. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to, you know what, he might be getting that Independence confused with, the actual movie Independence Day with Will Smith.
With Joe Biden, he probably thought Will Smith actually gave us our independence then.
All right. He was serving under Bill Pullman at the time. Oh, man.
I mean, I don't mean any harm. I mean, like I said, I respect my elders, but there's clearly something wrong with the Democrats' front runner, or I should say their nominee for the presidency.
This can't be the best they got.
I mean,
I think they want Trump elected.
Obviously. I mean, okay, here's something that I was talking to Elgin about a little bit earlier. It says, Joe Biden and at least 13 members of his staff have made donations to the group that helped Minneapolis protesters bail out of jail. This was in the last 48 hours. They made massive donations to get these people out of jail.
Actually, he wasn't the only one. A bunch of actors, Seth Rogen, Steve Carell, all of those guys have been bailing those protesters out.
Okay, I don't get that. But anyway, that's another Biden thing.
the Democrats are still throwing their money to try and buy this election. I mean, we still got a few things to talk about, but this is just one angle. I mean, I understand what they're doing. How could you not understand that they're throwing money to try to make it seem like they're the good guys so they can get that vote?
Sad thing is, it works on a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big thing is like if you look at society, man, everybody is not the greater good. It's me. What about I want me?
Right.
And the Democratic Party knows that, and they're feeding into it. And then they're whatever they can, or in the liberal side, they're trying to whatever. It's about you. Be selfish. It's okay. Not about community. Not about economy. Nothing worldwide. They say that they're talking about social changes. No. Creating more division is not doing it.
No.
And it's just crippling us.
And they're just feeding the fuel.
You know, I've said it time and time again. You know, it's obvious to me. I mean, this is why I vote the way I vote. This is why I see things the way I see them. It's obvious to me that, yeah, the Democrats, to me, now I'm using these words, you know, they are the plantation owners of the 20th century. You know, they're telling, and I just don't point this toward black people, but anybody who's, you know, needing assistance or lower income, they're telling them, hey, I'll give you money. You sit here, you stay here, you live here, and I'll give you money, and let me get your vote.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that's the same thing as saying, as I'm the plantation owner, hey, you come over here and work for me. I'm going to let you live back here in this outhouse. I'll feed you. You just make sure that you go and work my crops.
Not much difference.
Yeah.
Not much difference. And so I fight this fight all the time. You know, of course, you guys know my brother. I'm still working on getting him here on the podcast, by the way.
That'll be a fun day.
But, you know, his whole thing is that the Republican Party is the racist. You know, Republican Party wanted slavery, when none of history actually shows that. But we're in such this outrage culture that, you know, emotion, you know, trumps logic. You know, emotion, you know, wins the day over logic.
Yeah.
If we're supposed to be so progressive and against people and everybody wants to be like Star Trek where everybody gets along, don't you think logic is going to play a big part in that?
Nobody works for money. It's all free.
Bill, we were supposed to have a guest, but that didn't pan out. But ladies and gentlemen, when you all listen to this, make sure you all tune in to the next episode, because we will have a very distinguished guest with us who's got some information to share, courtesy of Bill Greer there. But
very knowledgeable person. And
but what else is going on, Justin? I mean,
and well, besides Joe Biden helping our side to get our president reelected, which I'm kind of appreciative of that, but then I'm also like, it's like watching a kid's soccer game and one side is just getting destroyed 15-0 in the first half. But your kid's on the winning side and you're like, you almost feel guilty about cheering for it. I just do. I'm like, this is the best you guys got. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do, but besides all that,
somebody needs to be like charged for elder abuse or something for trotting him out there.
Yeah, whoever's pulling his pull string to make him talk, they need to readjust something in there. I just don't get it.
I just can't believe they still let him in front of a camera. I mean, at this point, like I said, they should Milli Vanilli the whole thing. Just have him out there, have his mic off, and have somebody in the back talking.
I think it'd be better if Little John was subbing in for his voice or something, you know?
And just put some peanut butter in his mouth so he'll move his mouth.
I think Carrot Top would be a better voice for this guy than Biden himself.
Oh gosh, good old
man.
Joe.
The other thing that cracks me up is the polls. Yeah, Biden's leading by 24 points in the polls. Who the hell are they?
Where? Maybe stripper polls. I don't know what they're talking about.
It's going to be the same polls they used on Hillary, you know, because
Yeah.
he was leading right up until election day.
You know, it's funny you should just say that because I was looking on, I believe it might have been Newsmax or it might have been Next News Network, but I think it might have been Newsmax. One of them said that they did a poll and it shows Trump leading in all the 24 states that he won in 2016. He's leading Biden in all of those states.
Yeah, but according to CNN nationwide, Biden's up by 24 points. I think the only place they go is like San Francisco or Los Angeles, and they call everybody there, and they try to get an answer. What the nation.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw this clip earlier this week, but Ben Shapiro, I was watching his podcast, and he he got on the subject of everybody knows who Joe Rogan is. You know, one of the commentators for the UFC, Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
Yeah.
Him and apparently a lot of Hollywood and people like that are talking about leaving California in general because they're like, man, this is the most taxed state, blah, 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 blah. It's just crazy. He's like, I have no reason to be here. He's like, if I have to, I'll bounce and go and set up shop in another place. And apparently there's a lot of people doing that. So what's that going to do to that California poll system if they keep screwing around with like Pelosi and I forgot that other senator's name, but it's been screwing up a lot lately. But they're talking about that. So, man, they better watch out because they may be losing that state soon.
You know, it's funny you say something about that because I have a personal friend. He and I deployed together, and after getting back from deployment, he now drives semi-trucks. And it used to be, you know, all the semi-truck drivers that I knew, they were like, man, I want to go west, as far west as I can go, because that's how the truck drivers make their money.
Right.
Well, I was talking to him, and he said, California is so taxed and so ridiculous that now truck drivers are actually losing money when they deliver into California.
You know, I'd be like, nope, not doing it.
Well, he quit. He said, I can't afford to go into California.
Yeah.
He said, I lose money every time I do a load into California.
Man, those states like that, I mean, it right there, that should be like the New York and California, very highly populated cities, you know, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, all of those. What good have you heard come out of any of that with a liberal government in place?
Nothing.
At the state level, nothing.
Nothing.
It's gotten worse. Your economy's down and all of that. Homelessness is still a crisis in San Francisco, apparently.
Oh, it's California. I mean, I understand Northern California is totally different from a little bit farther south in California. So to those people in Northern California, you know, we feel your pain.
Yeah, right.
Feel sorry for you. But, you know, that state's being run by some people that don't need to run. I mean, in my opinion, the only way I see California coming out of this is if California gets sold to Japan, and Japan can turn California around.
Since I was a child, all the so-called, I guess it's the same climate scientists now, but the scientists of that day were saying, you know, it's not going to be but 6 months and California is going to fall into the ocean. You know, they've been saying that ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, it's like, what can I do to help this? You know, like, let's just get something.
Oh, man.
They've been saying that since California's going to fall off.
Justin's dying.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Still getting over pneumonia. I was tested for COVID. I was negative. Just point that out.
You know,
This, ladies and gentlemen, is why we use Zoom.
Exactly.
you know, since you mentioned COVID, that brings me up to this next subject. The media, once again, fake news. COVID-19, I mean, there's still something wrong with this whole narrative that they're pushing.
Right.
The media has been doing this fear mongering. I mean, if you watch CNN, MSNBC, they've been doing reports like, as the states open up, people are fearful for their lives as they go back to work and all of this stuff. And it's like, what?
Not
Why
here.
are you-
Okay, here's my question. Again, is this a real smart virus that it can pick where it goes and knows where not to go? Because they're saying okay out for thousands of people together in the streets every night, but don't go to church.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hmm?
And there was a doctor. There was a doctor. I saw the video, and I believe it was CNN. A doctor said in a report to CNN that praying for God is not going to, make the virus go away, or the congregations is what's going to help spread the virus. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
This is where you're going with this? You're going to try to say God can't do it?
Yeah, he's attacking the church now.
Thousands of people can gather in the streets every night. That's why I was wondering, is this completely over now, or have we moved on? Because I see groups of people everywhere on TV, by the thousands, together. And no mention of COVID.
Yep. Nothing, right?
So it just go away like that?
Well,
they found something else to force down people's throats.
Oh, yeah.
They just found another subject just to instill more fear.
The whole COVID thing was a disaster to our economy. And you cannot convince me that was not planned.
I agree.
I totally agree.
That was planned.
But here's another thing to consider too. I went and seen my mom. She lives in a different part of the state. Also in a different part of the state, there's Amish and there's Amish country all around. So where my mom lives, there's Amish. So we went to Walmart, took my mom. My mom had her mask on. Great. I did, I want my mom protected. But while we were there was Amish there. They weren't wearing masks. So do we exclude the Amish? Are the Amish not worthy of us telling about COVID?
Well, I told you this is a smart disease. It knows where to go and where not to go.
Oh, okay. So the disease knows not to go to the Amish. Is that what it is?
Don't go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Just don't go to Walmart.
Oh, don't go to Walmart. Okay.
The disease, it stays out of Walmart, Kroger, whatever food stores you want to go to. But it attacks like JCPenney's and Belk's and all these stores, so you can't go there.
Gotcha.
It doesn't go to Lowe's. It doesn't go to these stores here, but it does go to those stores over there. That's why they had to.
Because I saw, I don't know how many Amish families that were together. They weren't wearing masks. Their kids weren't wearing masks. They weren't wearing masks. They were going on like day to day. They were getting lumber at Lowe's. I mean,
right.
So when they go back to their community, I mean, I don't expect them to be wearing masks in their community either.
No.
So I'm just saying, people, something to think about. What are we being fed? And this whole media, Trump's already called them out being fake. And they have been caught in several lies, basically.
Did you hear I cannot remember her name. I had it with me earlier, but his new press secretary.
Yeah.
I cannot. Man, I was watching her just clip after clip after clip going after all these people, especially CNN. And I think the reporter was saying something, asking her along the lines of, well, when the president issued out lies about COVID not being a big deal, what is y'all's response? She was like, okay, CNN reported on this date 2-3 months ago that COVID was no worse than the flu. Next. Mm-hmm. This person said that a leader of the Democratic Party said, this COVID is not as bad as everybody seems. Next. Just said, let me answer your question with those 5 questions. And man, that guy looks stupid.
Oh, yeah. And he got all pissed off and called her all kinds of names and stuff.
Yeah. I was like, what an idiot, man. I was like, dude, I was like, there again, just another reason to hit that check mark for Trump on this next election.
Well, it just seems like I said, it's this whole thing now, this, your emotions totally went out over total logic and actual thinking and knowledge. I mean, I was always taught, hey, be knowledgeable about things, learn about things. Like now it seems like all they want to do is, well, my emotions say I'm angry and because this happened. Like, well, what happened doesn't make any sense. So you shouldn't be angry about it. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm angry and my emotions trump whatever you just said. I'm like, what? And that's what her name is, Kylie McEnany.
Okay, that's it, Kylie. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I
kept wanting to say McEnany or some shit or something like that, man. I couldn't remember.
Kaylee. I mean, she's basically throwing it to him. I mean, she's got the knowledge. And let's face it, everybody, and I know they did, everybody just thought, well, they got some dumb blonde up there is what they thought. And she's proved them wrong.
I was a big fan of Sarah Huckabee up there at first because she was the same way. And
yes,
man, with Kylie here, man, they've taken on a new strategy dealing with the media of going on offense.
Yeah, throw it right back at him.
Yeah, she ain't holding back either. Lots of respect for her.
And I know a lot of people too who have been in the media in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it be news or a newspaper or actual news. Even they are telling me, they said, this is not what people get into this job for. Like, you're supposed to be trying to make a difference and uncover the actual story to bring facts to everyone. But this is like a corporate movie. I mean,
right.
That's all it is. I know.
Well, whatever they're doing, they are helping Trump get reelected.
Well, I think that'll be a landslide too. If we get everything together, we're gonna try to live stream that whole election night. By the way, that's our goal here at the Blue Collar Minute, man.
Big party.
What's that?
The big party.
That's right.
Speaking of elections, we'll go on to another subject. What's the deal now that mail-in ballots are the thing to do now?
Well, I'm not sure if it is now. See, I'm still confused because is COVID still a thing? Do we still have to do mail-in, or have we just forgot all about that and now we can just go to the polls? I mean, it appears to me the COVID thing is just out the window, gone. Did you see what Fauci, whatever his name is? What's that doctor's name? Fauci. Well, you don't need to wear masks unless you're taking care of somebody that's got COVID, and I don't think we're going to have a resurgence of the disease this fall. He just said that Friday.
See?
But, I mean, this guy's been all over the place from the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
He has been from here to down here to over here. I don't know who's pulling his strings.
He kind of seems like somebody that, he gets approval in one place, but he doesn't get it in another, so he flips. And then one side's getting mad at the other side's getting mad at him now, and then he tries to flip. So he's trying to please everybody. I'm like, dude, just stick with what you know, and just stick to your guns and stick with what you know. Who cares if people get mad at you for it?
Right.
He just strikes me someone that's all over the place.
Yeah, he's like a yes man. It's just ridiculous. You don't need somebody like that trying to educate the American public.
Well, the governor of Alabama was on the news with CNN, and the governor of Alabama was telling CNN reporter how they have taken steps to ensure that voter fraud doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's what we all want. We all want our vote to count. We don't want our dead relatives' vote to count for anything, because we know that's
shown that these people have been coming forward because and a couple of states have already mailed out ballots to everyone. All right. And there's one woman standing there with 6 ballots in her hand, and she said all 6 of these came to my address, and they're just marked for the people that used to live here. And she said, technically, I could fill all these out and send them back in.
Mm-hmm.
And she's right.
Yeah.
It all came to her mailbox because the last known address of this person was here, so they sent it. The last known address of this person was here, so they sent it. She got all of them in her mailbox. She could have filled all of those out any way she wanted and sent them in. Now, how secure is that?
It's not.
Yeah, I've already told you guys before about like my experience with absentee ballots. For my first 2 deployments, my second and my third, I was in the middle of an election year, and Oklahoma was supposed to send me an absentee ballot. Never saw anything, so I didn't get to vote for the president, for our United States president until 2000 and I think it was right before Trump was elected. What was that? 2016? Not 2016. I'm sorry. Back that up. 2012, I believe.
Yeah, that would have been Obama's second term.
Yeah, I tried voting against him, but obviously that didn't work. But yeah, that was the first time I ever got to vote, and I've just never had a good experience with absentee ballots.
Well, I think that's what we were discussing anyway. The whole purpose of an absentee ballot is for servicemen who are deployed and can't be here.
Or very sick.
Can't come to the polls. I don't think this is a valid excuse to use this as a way of, I still think it's fear mongering to try to keep people like, well, you can't go out there. I mean, it's COVID. You better just mail in your vote. There's tricks. I know there's tricks, and they're trying to use every trick they got. We need to stay strong in making sure that the votes are done at the ballot, and that a legal identification card for you is shown as you cast your vote.
Right.
It's just that easy.
All they have to do is somebody just leaks out that Trump is all for mail-in ballots, and then we'll never hear another word about mail-in ballots.
Right.
Get that out there and tell it Trump's against voter ID. Don't let Trump cheat. You better get a voter ID. Crazy over now.
I bet you right now, like you said, if he said anything about stray dogs affecting the United States, everybody would go out and buy a damn dog.
Yeah. Or adopt a dog or something, yeah.
Yeah. And see, like I said, this is the first time in my lifetime that I've ever seen anything like this. I have never seen political stuff go on like what is going on.
Right.
I didn't used to be a person to be all caught up in the political aspect, but at this point, how can you not? When you've got news reporters basically lying, editing videos to make other officials look, like whatever, just so that you won't vote for one particular party.
Right. They don't want these people thinking for themselves. They just want you to take whatever they got to say and go with it. And that's why dumbing down the American society for the last 30 years, this is the result.
Yeah.
Lowering standards in schools and all that. Taking away people's ability for critical thinking instead of inspiring thought. Even though I've had some professors, my political science professor here, he never said which side he went towards. I could pretty much figure it out, and he's really cool, really good guy, but he inspired people to think for themselves. Yeah. And now you got all these professors in there, like the government or like all these politicians and CNN or the media actually think this way. This is I know what's best, and oh man, that ain't it. Not one policy, not one thing is just perfect for everyone.
Right.
But that's what they want you to believe.
I mean, I love my child very much, and she's studying, to be in med school. That's her goal. She's getting ready to try to get to med school. And she's trying to educate me about COVID and what the scientists are saying and what the numbers are. But I try to get her to understand, if I take 20 people who have something and 4 of those 20 people die, or I should say 5 of those 20 people die, that's 25%. So you can say, oh man, 25% of our subjects have died because of this. Well, if you stretch that out, it's like, well, I got those 20 people from a pool of 8,000, and then out of that 8,000, 4 of those people died. Now the percentage doesn't look so big.
Right. But see, we can't even rely on those percentages right now because they were instructing all these doctors, hey, if it might be COVID related, check it off as COVID.
Yeah.
So all the numbers have been skewed from the beginning, and how are we ever supposed to get reliable data and what to do after that?
I still think it's been here so long that that's actually what Epstein died from. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case.
Oh man! And here we were blaming the guards for falling asleep, blaming cameras for going down.
That should be Hillary's call sign. COVID-19.
I don't know which is better. Let me know what you think. Getting Hillary or asking for a Baskin? I mean, Carol Baskin or Hillary?
Well, they both got away with them, but Hillary's gotten away with a whole lot more.
I think Hillary's got bigger numbers.
Yeah. Baskin's still an amateur compared to Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but people
asking for a Baskin or getting a Clinton. That's funny.
Yeah, getting a Clinton or asking for a Baskin. The funny thing is you can't make any of this stuff up. This literally feels like somebody made this up.
Yeah, man, and so many people are just eating all of this crap up just because the TV told them to. I won't understand it.
Yeah, my brother watches CNN, MSNBC religiously, and that is it right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just garbage. I'm starting to think that maybe some independent journalists might be onto some things, but man, I just can't trust journalism anymore.
It's kind of hard to right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. You yourself have to do all of the digging,
It's, even when you find someone, if you start watching for a while, they start following along with the mainstream. Somebody gets to them or whatever. I don't know. Really.
It's hard in this day and time for someone not to be gotten to, because all of these people who are trying to manipulate everything, money talks and bullshit walks, basically. And if somebody approaches you with enough money, you all remember the $1 Million Man from WWF?
Yeah, Ted DiBiase. I got his autograph.
Yeah. That whole thing about everybody's got a price and everybody's gonna pay, because the $1 Million Man always gets his way. That should be these big politicians, Hillary and all of them. That's what I thought about just then.
God, man. And that's it. That's true. That's the sad truth. These people aren't interested. Really, they're only interested in getting reelected. That's all you ever hear about.
Yeah. I mean,
not really affecting change.
Once the election's over, it's going to be preparation for the next election.
Yep.
And what's going to be done then?
How they're going to write up pros and cons on a board? I have a feeling that the liberal Democratic Party are going to be like, okay, this is what happened in the last election. Let's not do this. Can we find somebody other than Biden? Anybody. That's step one. I miss the Democrats of like John F. Kennedy.
He was about the last good one, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's still kind of have you ever watched that movie, The Irishman, on Netflix?
I still haven't seen that yet.
Need to watch it. That gives a little insight about JFK, so to speak.
Really?
Yeah. Good movie though.
No.
It's long, so be ready to sit there for a while, but a really good movie.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah. But speaking of which, we'll go to this. Where are we at on time, Bill?
We got about 4 minutes.
I will tell you guys this though. I think you guys have seen that movie Super Troopers, right?
Hmm?
Oh yeah.
If there ever was a documentary about Joe Biden, those guys should produce it.
That would be great. Because anything about Joe Biden would definitely be a comedy. Oh,
I just don't get it.
Better yet, I think Mel Brooks is dead, but you should have Mel Brooks should be the one to do it in the form of like Blazing Saddles.
What was his name? Governor LePetime or something?
Yeah, Governor LePetime.
Yeah. He comes out, eyes crossed, smoking a cigar. I was like, dude, that's perfect for Biden right there. And he's got that young secretary. I was like, oh, man, that's it right there. Oh, man. That guy. No idea of personal space, no boundaries. You notice how how nobody on the left is sparking off that Me Too stuff anymore since Biden got accused.
No.
Believe all women, huh?
It's all gone now.
It's kind of quiet over there on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. After Biden got accused, man, everybody just kind of shut up about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
good.
embarrassing.
When somebody on the right gets accused, everybody jumps in on it. When somebody on the left gets accused, we got to believe Joe. We need to believe Joe. Yeah, although they've got like 9,000 video clips of him doing it.
I hope people don't think that I'm like complaining that Joe Biden's running on the Democratic ticket. Actually, I'm all for it right now because that just ensures a victory.
That's why I'm saying the first debate is going to be priceless. I'm going to be sitting there with just a big bowl of popcorn, kick back, and I'm going to be like, this is going to be great. I might even record.
You dog-faced pony soldier.
They were Trump was going to let Barry and his son debate Joe. We're killing Justin here.
Yeah. Don't make me laugh. Excuse me.
Well, I'm sure Barry will still win.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's the son of one of the most hated men right now. I mean, he's probably got some.
Also one of the most loved. On his side, he's one of the most loved.
I really think Trump should just get up to the podium during the first debate and just say, "I'm your president," and just look over at him.
And you're not.
Like, I give it to him. Go ahead, begin this.
Talk.
Yeah. He'd just be like, you know what? I'm gonna let this guy go first.
Oh,
God,
but
man.
yeah, it'll be great. But we got anything else, Bill?
You were wanting to go over First Amendment, wasn't you?
Yeah, just touch on it a little bit. I mean, Trump signed a big law for now. These social media companies can now be sued.
And they don't have the protection.
Yeah. Where if you tweet something or Justin tweets something or something like that, and they use their fact checkers and they, well, your tweet's no good and they take it down. Well, now you can put them into litigation for what they took down.
Mm-hmm.
And it all has to do with what Trump tweeted out about the ballots.
He said, in my opinion.
Yeah, he said, in my opinion. That just leaves it up. And then, of course, everybody jumped out. Well, he's saying that, that there's going to be fraud. How does he know that?
How can you fact check an opinion?
No kidding, right?
You can't have that opinion, Justin. I just fact check.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, one thing that is confusing to people, though, is everybody's like, well, they're, trampling all of my First Amendment rights. Well, not really. Your First Amendment rights only protect you from the government. Okay? If the government, Congress shall make no law respecting an established of religion or prohibited the speech, therefore abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people to peacefully assemble. No petition of the government or the redress of grievance. Basically, the government's the only one that can be guilty of stopping your free speech. A private entity can't, they're not violating your First Amendment rights because your First Amendment rights only protects you from the government. Right?
Right.
So you hear people, you go up and you say, shut up, oh, you're violating my First Amendment rights. No, I'm not, because the government's the only one that can violate your First Amendment rights.
I mean, that should just tell everybody that, everybody has their right to their own opinion, and then they can say it in any form they care. But who am I to tell someone else that their opinion's wrong? And same thing on the other end. Who are they to tell me my opinion's wrong? We all have to do this based on our own life experiences.
Opinion is an opinion. It's just like something else. Everybody's got one.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody is so arrogant to think that their opinion is the only one that matters.
Yeah, and it's the fact.
Right.
I
mean, get around other people and share your opinions with them. If they agree, keep hanging around them. If they don't hang around them. Who knows?
That's just like us here. I mean, I've put out some opinions.
Yeah.
And some theories. A theory doesn't necessarily make this fact. So
I think we do a pretty good job about saying, like, in my opinion, or I have a theory. In no way, in shape, or form are we speaking for, like, do I speak for you guys, or much less the American public?
Yeah, because once again, the whole reason we're here is just because we're average people. And these are our thoughts as average blue-collar working Americans, you know.
Right.
And our opinions, you
Are
know.
just that. They're
Yeah.
our opinions.
Right.
You can agree with them or you can disagree with them. They're still just an opinion. Don't shoot us for having opinions. We don't shoot you for having an opinion. I mean, what you hear here is we feel what is our opinion. We're not saying it's fact. We're not saying it's fiction. We're just saying that's our opinion.
Right. I think that definition has gotten lost in society over the last 10 years. Is just opinion, fact. Do your own research. Figure it out for yourselves. That's what I want the American public to do. Don't just take anything at face value.
Right.
Do it for yourself. Teach your kids to do the same thing, not be brainwashed followers for anyone.
I mean, this country was built on ideas, thoughts, and people working together. I mean, if it wasn't for people sitting down and talking, sharing opinions, thoughts, and ideas about things never come about. I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I really enjoy that man. And he said that's basically how him and other scientists and theologians come up with ideas, and then they put those ideas into theories. Those theories get tested, and they put those into, you know, something actual that we can use. That's how we're supposed to be as a people, talking amongst one another, sharing ideas and thoughts. And from that, something pops up that might cure cancer.
Yeah.
Right. It's coming together is what's going to, coming together, no matter what side you're on, meeting in the middle and discussing it calmly,
right?
Not acting like a lunatic and threatening and doing all this other nonsense.
And, oh, you stepped on my feelings because I didn't like what you said.
Yeah,
you're mean.
Your feelings. Right. Your feeling. Look, I tell my kids this every day. The world don't give a damn about your feelings. Do what you got to do, and make sure that you're on the right side. And when you're on the wrong side, you better be quick to make amends for it.
Well, I guess that wraps up today. Elgin?
Well, as I was saying before, we've got some things in the works. First off, I want to say this real quick. I want to say congratulations. Many of y'all may not know, our brother Justin there is engaged.
Run! Run!
Hey, Bill, keep the car pointed towards the interstate, all right, man?
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Congratulate Justin on that.
Congratulations.
We know you've got some planning stuff that has to be taken care of, but that's first off. Congratulate you. Secondly, we are going to be working on getting a few more guests in with the Blue Collar Minutemen. We do have several people that are lined up. Of course, everybody that we have lined up is, I mean, they're blue collar people. They have lives, they get busy, work, different things like that. So bear with us, and we'll have our guest on sharing some interesting information. As always, you know, thanks for listening to us. Always check us out on Facebook. We're on Facebook still. The Spotify I have not been able to get any audio up to that yet. Working on it. But you can still email us your questions and comments. The Blue, which is BLU, Collar Minutemen @gmail.com. Feel free to also give us a tweet. Bill, the Twitter,
Blue Collar Minutemen, #Blue Collar Minutemen.
All right. Justin, do you have anything else?
No, I got a small message. Just, man, all this stuff going on. Do the research for yourself. Don't be so quick. Neither side has got 100% down, but man, we've got to meet in the middle. And none of this other stuff helps. Violence, whatever it is, whatever it may be, hatred. No, it doesn't. Man, the silent majority, and we're silent because we're keeping our heads down, working and doing what we can to for our families. Pretty soon, that's going to wake up, and that's going to inspire real change. All the good men out there, all the good women out there that's hitting that daily grind, taking care of their families, paying them bills, doing what they got to. They don't have time for this nonsense. But man, all this other stuff going on, man, now's the perfect, no more time than ever to be with your families and do things together and show them that division is not the way. It should be all about unity, no matter where you come from.
Amen.
I'll just add to that by saying, don't do anything rash out of emotions. I said it before, emotions like a spring break tattoo. In the moment, you'll jump up and it looks great until you kind of sober up, get down the road, and you find out it wasn't good at all. Bill,
Just want everybody to stay safe and just continue to be together. Whether it be COVID or murder hornets or whatever is going on out there tomorrow, try to stay safe. We'll be here for you.
Right.
And here at the Blue Collar Minutemen, as always, God bless you all and God bless America. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you.